I truly believe Warframe is the best free-to-play experience I've ever had. I started playing when the game first came out. Back then, it already felt good, but it was missing a lot of content. After about a year, I stopped playing because it just didn't have enough. The game was still trying to figure itself out and what it needed to survive. I was there when the main Warframes were Excalibur, Mag, and Loki. I remember wall running, stamina bars, and a much simpler version of the game. Even though Warframe is completely different now, it was still fun back then. The core gameplay was always solid. The only real issue was the lack of content. That is honestly the only reason I left, and the fact that I was playing a lot of Destiny back then. Every time a new update drops, I come back to the game. Sometimes I don't even fully understand all the new systems or mechanics that they introduce, but I still play them because the game is extremely fun and because of the freedom that you have when you play in this game. You can farm whatever you want, whenever you want. Yes, the crafting timer is annoying, extremely annoying actually, if you want to use that one thing that you're crafting, but honestly, that's not a bad thing. It actually builds anticipation, it makes the rewards feel earned, encourages you to do other content that you haven't done in a while, and it also doubles as a monetization option if you want something instantly, but it never feels forced. Now, one of the best things about Warframe is that you can leave the game for a full year, and then when you return, you got new frames to farm, new weapons, prime Warframes, prime weapons, new zones to explore, vendors with a bunch of rewards. The cool thing also is that not everything is meta, but it doesn't have to be. Everything is there for you to have fun, for you to do whatever you want, and that's the beauty of Warframe. Every Tuesday, the developers do a 15-minute discussion on what's coming or what is being fixed or changed. That's something you don't see anywhere. They're constantly listening to feedback and making adjustments based on it. The latest example of them listening to the players was when they introduced a spider frame that everyone was asking for. Now, with all of the introduction and every weapon that you can get and all of the new Warframes, you can always just build something. Build variety is one of the strongest parts of this game. You can take one frame and build it completely different depending on which ability you want to focus on. You want to do range or strength or utility or complete everything with damage. It's up to you. If you want to focus on one Warframe to do only the skill number 4, you can just build for that specifically so that that skill does more damage than all the other skills. Two players can use the same frame in completely different ways and both be effective because the meta is not really there. Every single time there's an update with a new frame or new weapons, you can make multiple builds with each one of those things. At the beginning, the story was confusing. There were so many systems, characters, and ideas thrown at you that it was hard to follow, but over time, it evolved. Warframe's story isn't about one character. It's about an entire ecosystem, a massive universe, the origins of the Warframes themselves, and with every major update, they experiment with storytelling in new ways, which makes it exciting. Sometimes you get a story that's based on the enemy's point of view. The other times you get a story that's based on your own point of view. Sometimes you get a story that's based on a Warframe's point of view. And sometimes you get family drama that you didn't know you needed in your life. And all of it is masterfully created with beautiful music. I truly believe the developers are a music band that wanted to try making a game because the music in this game is incredible. If Reb is the one picking up the music for the scenes, she is killing it just as I'm killing all the content this game has. Because everything in this game is free. I can farm any Warframe, any weapon, get all of the content for free. I could spend money if I want to skip the grind, just to support the developers if I want to, but the choice is mine. I don't have to pay anything. As long as I want to play, I can play however I want. And as someone that played Destiny for so long, I always compare the two. Actually, I compare every game with Destiny when it comes to microtransactions or expansions. Because expansions for Destiny were like $30 to $60. I normally would get the $60 one just to get the deluxe edition to see if I would get something else. But with this game, I don't have to pay anything. If I want a new Warframe instantly, I could put $20 to get the Warframe itself. If not, I can farm for it. That freedom is huge to me, and most importantly, there's no pay to win. There's no FOMO on anything other than Prime parts, and those are not even necessary to clear any content. That's just up to you if you want to pay for it. My gaming cycle always looks like this. I play any AAA or indie that I want to play, whatever story I want to try, I finish them, and then when I have that time, I come back to Warframe. And every single time I come back, there's new content. There's something I missed. There's something new to chase. Even after years of playing, I still don't have everything. Like all of the vendors I have, they're like 20% done. I still have so much content that I could do. And this is exactly where Warframe really stands out, because in most games, you put a lot of time in, but you don't really get that satisfaction. In Warframe, every single minute you put in, you're making progress through something. You're gaining something so that you can build something. There's always progress being made. No matter what you do, you're always leveling up something, you're unlocking something, you're building towards something. You're never actually wasting any time, unless you're building the same thing over and over just for the hell of playing. And then on top of that, if that wasn't enough, they have a free battle pass. Actually, now that I think about it, I lied. There is FOMO in this game, but it's a completely different type of FOMO. The FOMO comes from not playing enough to unlock the full free battle pass. Unlike many live service games, Warframe doesn't rely on paid battle passes. Even when it does have a battle pass, the battle pass is free, it's optional, you don't really have to complete it, and it's just another layer of progression. You can get whatever you want from it as long as you're doing the missions. You don't have to pay for it, so you don't get that FOMO of constantly coming back to the game so that you can get your money's worth. The game always gives you something to work towards, no matter when you log in. My FOMO comes from not unlocking the cosmetics of the free battle pass, because these cosmetics lead to the true endgame of the game. If you manage to play this game a lot and get to the end game, you have multiple choices like Steel Path, which is basically the same missions you did before and content you did before but way harder, and the most important end game, Fashion Frame. There comes a moment you're so confident with everything in the game that you don't have to look up every little thing. I think that's when you start really building your Warframes and building or helping out in the dojo so that things that you give in can benefit someone that was once like you, a noob. A full cycle moment that will have you thinking back on the days you didn't know what mods were. Even though the game has a lot of content, there is a downfall to that. Most things you will not understand, and you will have to look it up on YouTube to be able to learn. Yes, someone can guide you and just tell you what to do, or tell you that if you go to the dojo you can get free frames, but mostly everything that you can do in the game, you're probably gonna have to Google, and you have to be comfortable doing that, because this game is so big that you trying to understand it on your own is gonna be extremely overwhelming. But that also says that the game has so much content that it overwhelms you with everything that it has. So you take it or leave it. It's up to you if you want to get into this world, if you want to just dip your toes into the pool, or just jump right in. Now, I want you to imagine this, because this is one thing that always sells me on this game, because not every game does this. Even games that are supposed to be MMOs, RPGs, first announce itself like that. Let's imagine this scenario. You wake up with nothing to do on a Saturday morning. You load up Warframe. You spend the whole day playing, grinding, building, helping your friends if you do have friends. If you don't have friends, you play with randoms. And by the end of the day, you actually feel like you accomplished something, because you have things that are getting built in the background. Doesn't that feel great? Yes, it does. If you actually played the game, you would understand how good it feels to be building things and just waiting for the 3 days that it takes for that thing to be built so that you can use it. You always have that reminder of, hey, in 3 days that thing is gonna be built. You can come back and play it again in 3 days, and everything is gonna be here. We're not gonna take anything away from you, like Destiny. I have compared this game too much to Destiny. And that's because I grew up playing Destiny, and I always thought to myself that Destiny was the greatest game out there. But that's because I never actually played anything else. When I first played this game, I thought it was great, but it didn't have enough. But as the game kept evolving, it kept proving to me and everyone else that plays the game that this company is doing something amazing to keep this game alive for such a long time. To me, Warframe is the perfect example of the time invested equals to reward earned. Freedom of choice, endless content, That's the reason why I played this game for so many years. I keep coming back to the same thing. I can take a break for a full year, and when I come back the next year, I have so many things that I can do that makes the game feel fresh. And that's why I believe this is the best free-to-play game out there. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all of that. Okay, thank you, bye! Also, if you haven't joined the giveaway and you're interested in getting Crimson Desert, click this video right here.